Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Frequencies of Thought. Today's episode is the sixth seal, the nuclear epidemic. People, a lot of your issues, a lot of your situations, and a lot of our problems, we bring them about ourselves. The reason we bring them about is because we are literally trying to be the body. You have to understand that you are not the body. You are the mind, which controls the body. So as long as you're trying to literally be the body, you will never, ever be able to understand and be yourself. So with that said, let's begin today's session. Israel is not only you, but it's also the land you're on. On top of it being the land you're on, and your body, the inside of it, the pure part of you, it has been taken over by your organs. Now, understanding that, the holy city of Jerusalem is also within you. And it is also the land that you're on. Mainly the land I am on. It is where I am. So there will come a time where the land we're on totally will be encompassed and surrounded by enemies. You're starting to see that formulate now. And then later on, once many of you get here and everyone is here and situated, we will be encompassed and surrounded as well by enemies. So this is how things are going and how things will be. At this very moment, things are just gearing up for basically all the things I've explained in the past, where we have military personnel and other people who are not thinking straight, literally sitting in positions of power and literally making choices and decisions that they should not be making on account of you and me and everyone else who's not a part of them. This will cause the two witnesses to wake up, which is your eyes and your ears, because right now they're dead. And when they wake up, the realization will hit. That realization that hits will literally bring everyone into reality of what's actually been going on around the world and in this same very land and amongst yourselves. So it's very important to be prepared for that right now. And the way to prepare for that right now is to learn how to rely on your heart, to listen, to see, and to feel. This way, when your eyes come back, nothing truly shocks you, because through feeling through your heart, you've already known that these things were occurring around you. Stay strong, people. Okay, so it's been a while since I've been up here. It's been about a week. Hopefully most of the people that needed to get to see the videos got to see the videos. We're still on the forefront of that Venezuela issue. You guys already know it means blood and frequency. And blood and frequency will be messed with what? What are they going to use to disrupt your blood and your frequency? And there's so many aspects that we could all go through. But one of the main ones is your cell phone. You have to understand that the 5G is, like I explained in a prior video, you have to understand that the cell phone wasn't called a cell phone just because that was the best name for it. If the best name for it would have been like a hand phone, or a phone, But the point is that we're reaching that point now where everything's reaching the forefront. The last day of this reprieve from the shutdown is coming up, and by then they're hoping to have everything aligned. They try to get most people with the weather, but we got the weather taken care of. Actually, some of the meteorologists are still predicting cold fronts, and they're not getting the cold front. So I applaud all of you out there who participated in that and helped me with it. I really appreciate you. And this just shows how strong you are each getting for that point in time. Now, the situations that are about to begin to occur will begin to snowball. They're going to snowball. And when I mean by snowball, I mean, it might be a simple murder that might take place, let's say, in Venezuela. And what they'll do probably is that'll cause a snowball effect where it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and there won't be nobody to hold anything back no more. Like I said, your two witnesses are beginning to wake up. These are your eyes and your ears. They've been dead. This is why so many people had died over these past few years. This is why so many people died last year. So many people went through all the pain and suffering that they went through last year and this year, of course, as well. And it ain't over yet. This is just literally beginning the days of sorrow. So the days of sorrows was then, and now we're literally ending that period where it becomes the reality. And when it becomes the reality, most of you guys need to be strong. I need you guys to understand that what they've done is they made you rely on your emotional heart. And being that they made you rely on your emotional heart and the emotional things that attaches itself to your heart, and then they made you also attach your heart to those things as well that didn't want to attach themselves to you. What it ended up doing was that it ended up creating a barrier. And that barrier is the reason why no one can help you, let's say, find the Father or find the way or whatever you want to put it. Nobody can do that. People can just give you the direction, like what I'm doing, and then from there, you guys literally have to find it within yourself to detach. You have to realize that you are the body, but you're really the person that is inhabiting the body. Once you understand that you are the person inhabiting the body, what ends up happening is that things become to get clearer. You begin to realize that everybody's immortal. Nobody dies. What dies is the flesh. So therefore, why should you love the flesh instead of loving that personality or that consciousness or that characteristic of that person? Remember what I explained before, that everything is energy. And what energy does, energy can either refill you or replenish you, or it can literally suck you dry. It can suck your energy and leave you basically tired and wasted and depressed and everything else that comes with that low self-esteem, low conscious, low energy type state. And many people, that is the true definition of the vampire. That's really what vampires are. Your blood literally has the plasma, as I've always explained, and that plasma literally sends frequencies of energy throughout your entire body. And people literally, especially these people that we're battling in the spiritual realm, these people literally need that. They need what's yours. They need that frequency that you have. So by them turning on these machines to make it cold, and by them creating these, preparation for urban warfare things that they're doing, and people are not reacting the way that, they thought we would react, what that's causing is an alert. It's letting them know the people are reaching that point where nothing phases them. They're realizing that none of it is real. They're realizing that it's a narrative, it's a fairy tale, it's fake. So what ends up happening is that they go and they take it a step forward and they literally make it a reality. And when they make that reality, this is where you're gonna have to literally understand who you are and what you are really. Because if you don't understand that you're the energy within the body, you're gonna care about, the things around you that really have no value. Not in the spiritual realm anyway. They don't have a value. And the things that do have value in the spiritual realm, all you can do is say duck, for them to prolong their stay here. You cannot do anything outside of that because, like I just explained, everybody and everything is an energy. It is a form of energy. And the way we communicate is through shapes and frequencies. A shape is a frequency. So understanding that a shape is a frequency, and you see the arch of McDonald's and you see the BMW signs, you see all of these things are literal meanings of frequency, literal secrets that they've kept from us that our schools never told us about, and I'm bringing to you through the metaphysics. See, the metaphysics is the physical of the spiritual. That's what the metaphysics is. And what I'm doing is I'm giving you the physical of the metaphysics. This way you understand it in the aspect to where you can apply it to an everyday occurrence or an everyday event within your own life or in others, and understand it for what it truly is. So that's basically where we at right now. Now, most of you guys already know the locations. Get ready. It's gonna go down the same way I explained it. I don't know how people can still keep doubting. You're gonna literally see things taking place and things occurring at a fast pace. So you're gonna have to literally think fast. You're gonna have to understand the signs. You're gonna have to know the signs. You have to literally, I hope that all of y'all have been using your heart to make your decisions and your choices ever since you guys began watching or hearing these videos, because this is where it becomes the crucial part, the crucial aspect of the situation that we call reality, this matrix. Now, once all of these things begin, this is where most of you people are going to have to deal with one another and understand one another through your heart. This is where you're going to have to learn how to detach your emotions and think logically. Unity is the only form and fashion that you guys will get here. It is the only way that you're going to get here. If you cannot use logic, and if you cannot set aside your differences or emotional distresses, you're going to end up causing yourself to get hurt as well as others to get hurt. Now, understanding that the physical doesn't matter, meaning the body doesn't matter, you have to understand that it does matter, because if you end up losing your physical, then guess what? You're dying. So that's the only reason why it matters. You understand? It does. I'm not trying to tell nobody to stop eating and stop doing this and stop doing that. That's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm telling you to do is learn how to literally detach your emotional traits that make you human, because you're not a human. You are God's. So understanding that you're not a human, and that human was something that they placed on you, was a title that they gave you, was a scientific term that they gave you, you are basically a gene. Each and every one of you are basically one sprout of a cell. And all cells need to work with one another in order to maintain righteousness throughout the entire body. And you are going to see it. You're going to see it when you guys get here. You're going to see it in a larger fashion, in different aspects, different realms, different jurisdictions of understanding. You'll meet people at different points. We do it now in our groups, Facebook groups, Instagram groups, the Discord groups. You know, these people who are on different levels may not be on a particular level like me, so they might not be able to speak some of the things that I can speak, but they still, everyone has something to offer. As long as you can recognize what is logical and what is emotional, you're going to be A-okay. Each and every one of you will be A-okay. I seen a video a guy sent me earlier. I don't know the name of the guy. I seen him before, but I don't know the name of the guy. But, you know, he's in the video talking about how with these events and the news talking the way they're talking, you know, it's almost as if they're trying to get people ready for the event to take place. And then after the event takes place, for people to actually go somewhere to do something. You know, to get to a certain area. And I hope you understand, those are signs. He's actually viewing some of the signs that I told you guys you will get, and you have to literally acknowledge those signs so that you know what's going on. You have to remember that everything, before anything happens, you're always going to get warnings. The Father's not just going to allow it to just come out of nowhere and boom. No, that's not how the Father works. That is not the Father doing that in the Bible or in the Quran. That is not anything of the Father. That is the infiltrator. That is the man God. That is the God or the Pharaoh king who is having his people worship him as a God. Or you can just use the word dictator. That is the dictator who's dictating his BS to you in those books. So when people say that there's multiple gods in the Bible, you have to understand that there's only one God. There's only one God. There's not two gods. There's only one God. So don't acknowledge no other God. And he's not even a God. God is just literally a word that us humans managed to put in a box. And this is why we gave him that name, because we're able to capture it and categorize it. But what the Father is, what the source is literally something we cannot understand. We cannot literally fathom the what he is. We can fathom what we are. So we would be more enticed to be the gods. You understand? The reason why is because when you look around you, you understanding that you are of the body, but not in the body, but not the body. You understand that seeing the grass, the plants, everything, I'll show y'all. You look at the green plants and things like that, what you'll see is trees, grass, little squirrels, and rabbits maybe, you know, whatever you see around you, birds, butterflies, flies, insects, all those things, that's what you are. You could be that grasshopper that's literally walking on a piece of blade of grass that you don't even see with your physical eye because you're standing up, and he's projecting you. This is how deep this matrix is. That's what you are. You are everything around you. This is why everything around you is a part of you. And anything in this earth that comes from the earth has everything of the earth in it, just like you do. The reason why is because you are everything around you. You are everything. You are that rose petal. You are that lily. You are that stem that lost its leaves. That is you. You are that bird flapping in the wind. That is you. That is who you are. And not only that, but that could have been you in the past or in the future. And that future you or that past you, who's now an eagle in your eyes, because you don't know what it is, you just know it by the bird because they told you that a bird is a bird, so this is why you see a bird. So it's basically the manifestation of words, bringing forth the existence of what you guys are thinking is. So again, like I've stated before, sometimes things aren't even happening, but they tell you that they are so that you can envision it, therefore bring it forth into the manifestation or through creation of the mind. Now, let's understand that Donald Trump is the last president. All of these kings, these pharaohs that you are seeing right now, these are the last ones. There's no 2020, don't fall for none of that. There's no none of that. Literally, after these events right here, we are literally gonna go and start from the very beginning. The reason why we're gonna go back to the very beginning is because we need to go back to the very beginning. Why? Because we look at how far gone we are. We don't even know the elements that are around us. We don't even know who the true teachers are. We don't even know what's real and what's phony. Look at all of the things that are out there. There's a girl who is making videos about the plasma. I've addressed the plasma situation a few times in a few of my videos. These are all things that were stolen from ancient Kemet. These are literal events that end up taking place that the Father uses to bring an end to the evil. And that's what it is. I've explained to all of you already why you need to stop to eating meat, why you need to stop eating sugars, why you need to stop eating all of these other things. Because it's literally causing your body to become acidic. And if your body's becoming acidic, you are becoming a virus on the earth. And the earth needs to cleanse itself. And it will cleanse itself of this virus. So just like I've explained that black people could be the red blood cells and white people could be the white blood cells, and they must work in unity in order to literally eradicate the virus that keeps corrupting the cells. That's what needs to be understood. A lot of this is because of the cognitive dissonance, where people are literally believing the things they hear and not the things that they are actually seeing. Or they believe the things that they are being showed instead of the things that they are hearing. Or they're literally ignoring the feeling within their heart that's letting them know it's wrong, or letting them know that it's deadly, or it's just plain out downright not should be happening, and people are ignoring that. That's what you call cognitive dissonance. When I can literally show you somebody getting killed and tell you that the reason we had to kill this person is because he was reaching, but yet you just seen the video footage and the person did not even attempt to reach. His arms was up in the air, and when his arms went down was when he was falling. So that's a form of cognitive dissonance. Taking it a step further, when you actually go look at what's going on in the skies at night and during the day all over the world, especially here in those urban areas, those predominantly white neighborhoods, you are seeing signs in the skies warning you, warning each and every one of you. And the people are literally seeing these things and they're like, oh, look at the pretty lights. No, that means get ready. The loud booms are warnings. These are literally alarm clocks that are literally synchronized to the cells within your brain, and literally is bringing synapses of energy, frequency to run through your consciousness. And these are things are coming in as new ideas and new thoughts and new different types of ways of thinking for you, for the better of you, to make you literally survive these coming catastrophes which our government and these things will bring forth. They're the ones that's going to do it, because you're no longer believing the rhetoric that's coming out of their mouth. Why? Because the word rhetoric is heretic, and heretics is what they are.
The treaty was a pillar of global security, not only because it resulted in the removal of missiles and launchers from Europe, but also because of what was removed. Short-range nuclear missiles, highly mobile, incredibly quick, both to launch and their speed, much cheaper than huge strategic nukes. Everyone was always on the edge. With short-range nuclear missiles around, they could strike in an instant. barely any warning. For more than 30 years, they were gone. But now, those missiles are coming back, unless we get a new deal.
I hope that we're able to get everybody in a very big and beautiful room and do a new treaty that would be much better.
Not everyone wants a new deal. Some see this treaty collapse as an opportunity. More funding, more R&D, more, better, short-range missiles.
Now the Department of Defense will be able to conduct those research and development activities banned under the INF Treaty. So the Department of Defense will start those steps on building those systems they couldn't before.
You can forgive the odd official with more ambition than sense, but the military-industrial complex, those guys that make and sell missiles, oh, they're ecstatic. Raytheon and Lockheed Martin wasted no time and are soon going to be testing their prototypes, precision strike missiles with ranges greater than 500 kilometers.
Withdrawing from the INF Treaty is a good start. Now this action must be backed by American firepower. The United States must regain the strategic advantage by expediting the development and deployment of a new generation of ground-launched missiles.
It's incredible. They seemingly want an arms race, a nuclear arms race. And that's what they're getting. Russia, which the US accused of violating the treaty, promises to respond, develop new weapons. That is not to say everyone's gone nuts. There are still people with sense, people that realize a nuclear arms race isn't going to lead to anything good. People who realize that arms treaties where the world removes, not adds nukes, is good for humanity.
Yeah, I think it's stupid for Democrats to be attacking Putin on all issues and not holding open the channel of nuclear dialogue. Yes, deal with the issues in Syria and killing diplomats and Ukraine and Crimea and all the rest of that. But that doesn't warrant a nuclear blunder that kills billions of people or millions. So, yes, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or somewhere in between, we need to have dialogue. And something that might help is a bit of humility.
I don't even know what's crazier nowadays. People cheering a nuclear arms race or people calling for dialogue. Many want an arms race. And you know why? Because nukes are pretty.
We see these beautiful pictures at night. I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. And they are beautiful pictures of fearsome armaments.
And more breaking news. Low-flying choppers and loud explosions leave people shaking tonight when a military exercise catches people by surprise.
And CBS 2's Tom Wade is live with more on the story tonight from downtown. Tom?
Yeah, Jeff and Susie, this is kind of a weird one, and it scared a lot of people. It all happened just out here on Wilshire and Vixel in this spot where I'm standing right now. The flares were out here, and take a look at some of this video. You'll see some of the choppers they brought out, military-grade choppers. Now, the Army put out a press release saying that they wanted to enhance soldier skills and use urban environments to kind of simulate the real thing. And of course, downtown LA and Los Angeles has a lot of those features that they can use to do that. But take a listen to what some people heard here tonight. Yeah, that kind of sounded like real gunfire, real bombs, real explosions. But again, all precautions were taken according to Army representatives, and they actually spoke with the LAPD and other representatives from the city. They said everything was above board. They took care of notifications of residents as well. But when you talk to some people out here, they didn't know about it.
I can just see helicopters drop in, helicopters move, and then you can just hear boom, like flash booms. And then every now and then you would hear a couple booms on, I think it was that building over there.
You knew what was going on, but you thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good, you know.
What were they doing?
Well, I mean, you have the helicopters flying between the skyscrapers, and then you have people come out, and then it's just a drill, you know. It was fun. They had the bomb drop. It was a fake bomb drop, but it was super cool.
So as far as we know, we don't know the exact locations of where these are happening, but we're told they're going to be going on from February 4th to the 9th here in the area. Reporting live downtown, I'm Tom Waite, CBS 2 News.
Okay, so when you guys are looking up at the sky, you're going to start noticing this extra sun out there. Some people around the world already could see it, but for you guys who are here in the U.S. and are not seeing it just yet, get ready, because this is what we're going to begin to see this. Now, if any one of you guys take your phone up right now and point it at the sun, you can actually already see it through your phone. Your eyes won't allow you to see it though. So you got to use your phone, the lens. And the same thing with the moon. When you pointed it up at the moon, you'll see it there as well. These are all things that people are using cognitive dissonance on. No, nothing's going to crash and blow the whole world up. Yes, meteors do fall, and they will fall, but it ain't going to destroy the whole world. The government might tell you that, but that's not true. Most likely they're going to say that, what occurred was that another country went and bombed us. But again, it's all a part of their technique of using cognitive dissonance. For those of you with the plasma fear, you need to understand that the only way you can make the plasma fear any better is literally by eating better and trying to be as healthy as possible that you can. It's literally one of the main things that they lie to us about. They made us eat meat, and they made us feel that we needed to eat meat in order to survive. Not only that, but now with their artificial foods and Trump signing into order these GMO non-labeling their foods no more, you don't know what you're eating. At least before you could tell, okay, this is GMO, it's organic, it's this, it's that. Now they don't even have to do that. The other thing is he's not allowing people to just make farms now. Now you got to have a license in order to grow crops. So for those of you out there, you can easily grow some little plants and trees to grow teas and little herbs and stuff like that, and use those things. Use those things to literally get yourself healthy. Get back in commune with the earth. Get yourself together literally on a higher level. Right now, the consciousness that's coming in is what's going to literally assist all of you in getting to the places that you need to be in this world. With that said, let's get into a little bit of current events. This way you guys know where we at. Have a great weekend. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Okay, everyone. So here we have RT News. It's on Google News. It's all over, basically. But I want you guys to understand, and if you are Islamic or you're Christian or Catholic, go to your Bible and look up look up where you will find basically the people who are called the Medes, Medes, the Medes. Now the Medes are the Iranians, they're Persians in the biblical narrative, but we all know that all the stories are talking about in the latter days. Now, in the latter days, the Medes are a people who are very, very guerrilla warfare trained. They're warriors. Basically, they're basic super warriors that literally are ready for action. It's the best way to put it. Now, we have a guy called Mike Pompeo. And Mike Pompeo also on Google News and on the Wall Street Journal today, they have a picture of him with sunglasses on and a yellow tie with a black and white suit. All symbolic. I hope you understand. Those are all symbolic. Literally with a big caption at the top that says, America obligated to fight Hezbollah in Venezuela to save duly elected Guaido. Now, Guaido is the U.S. elected president of Venezuela. Mind you, the U.S. is a whole nother country aside from Venezuela. and we have literally socialized so much that we feel that we can literally just tell another country, no, he's not the president, this guy is, because this is the guy that we want. No one understand that that's not how this world works. And everyone is pointing a finger at the U.S. at this very moment. Remember I told you that Israel is you. You are Israel, and Israel is your body. The major places of your body, meaning like your chest area. Not only that, but it's also Jerusalem, the holy city, which would be located in your heart, which will also be the people located in this land. Now, the scriptures, the Bible and the Quran explain how Jerusalem would be, encompassed from all angles. And this whole Jerusalem would be surrounded and by all its enemies. And you have to understand that this is how all of this is playing out. You have to understand and look at the photos I've showed you. Those of you who know me personally and have spoken to me, go look at the pictures I have sent you pertaining to America and Jerusalem and what America is and all of those things. Anyway, I'll put up a picture of Jerusalem here so that you guys can actually see. When you turn Jerusalem sideways, you guys will see exactly what Jerusalem is. These are all the esoteric sciences of the scriptures as well as the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, and it's just like that. It's just meant like that, where somebody like me would come and reveal these things to each and every one of you. Now, going into this article, Iran says, and this is a chant that they're doing, death to America means death to Trump, Bolton, and Pompeo, Iran's supreme leader. The slogan, Death to America, is directed against the evil U.S. President, Trump, and his associates, not the American people. Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has said. Speaking to a gathering of Iranian Air Force officers, Khamenei hit back at Trump's State of the Union address, which included an attack on the Iranian regime that chants death to America. The U.S. is the embodiment of evil, but still complains when you chant death to America, Khamenei said. He then explained that those chants specifically target the people ruling the country, not the American nation. Now, death to America means death to Trump, John Bolton, and Pompeo. But the important part of this is that he is stating something that is addressed to the people who are called your patriots. The people who have literally, remember I told you that the two witnesses will rise up and literally devour you. Because if you at any point was for these coups, these falsified wars and false flags that the U.S. created and did, you are a part of this. So if you are, make amends with yourself and let that go. Literally make amends and let that go. Because this is something that comes as karma, and when it comes, it's gonna come hotter than you can think. These people do not speak your language, and they will not hesitate at all. Nothing will stop them, nothing. Okay, so this here is this is Wikipedia. And yes, I know Wikipedia ain't reliable. Anybody could go in there and alter things. I definitely know that. But we're not looking into that. All right, this is about 5G, guys. All right, now check this out. 5G literally is standing for the 5th generation. Now, if you recall in my last videos and some of my past videos where I made reference to 5G, I explained that 5G is talking about the 5th gene, or the 5th dimensional gene, which is inside you, which is literally your gene called the nitro gene. This nitro gene is when what is inorganic becomes the matter. The information within the nucleus which is basically the chip. It's basically the chip within all human beings is in your nucleus. This is how you get information and how you pass on information to your children and to, you know, in the form of viruses and microbes, so on and so forth. Everything has a nucleus. So every germ, every amoeba, every dog, every cat, everything basically. So now going into the 5G, which literally means from the 5th generation, we're going to look at some of the things that it says so that you guys can see that what I said in my past videos is what it is. So I'm only doing this to solidify it and to give you a broader, more clearer perspective on 5G, because 5G has made it to the national headlines. But it's only reaching the national headlines because they want you, the people, it's called the Hegelian dialect, to refuse it. You have to understand that. Now, 5G, know and understand, is something that's being rolled out by people of a communist country like China. And China this is all pre-planned. This is all written in stone already. So you have to understand that this is all a setup. So China is trying to roll out this 5G 5th generation network. Attached with it, literally linking it to something called the biometric detection tracking system, which is what Trump is basically talking about when he talks about that wall being a smart wall. And we will go more into the word wall in Latin, which is mural, which is image, which is given life, and which is caused to speak later. After this, we'll go into that. But stepping back into this, if you look at what it says, it's the latest generation. Remember what I said, you syllables. Generation. Generation. So there you have 4 syllables, which literally have multiple words in there. So we're going to break that down real quick just to make sure that we get a clear understanding of what we're talking about here. Now, generation, the first thing you see is the word gen. That word gen, if you recall in my prior videos, please go back into my prior videos if you don't know about what I'm talking about here. But I break down the etymologies of all of these words to its very essence, to the compound evidence of chemical breakdowns that these words are actually coming from. Everything originated in cuneiform form, which was literally shapes and symbols. Why shapes and symbols was the originality of language or of literature is because everything is a shape, and everything that's a shape leaves a symbol, which literally means it's a compound, it's an element. So now, and that is going into, the metaphysics of sacred geometry. So now, understanding that, generation, narration, as you already know, means to gather, or if not to gather, it also means to bring in, you know, to ration something. When you ration something or you ration it, you're literally, making a bunch of it, or bringing in about a bunch of it. Excuse me. Now, sorry about that. Okay, so now, generation literally already tells you that it means to literally gene. The word gen means gene. It also means spirit. So that means that which makes you move, that which moves you, that which literally inspires you, which is your gene. That which makes you who you are, which is your gene. So now we're rationing that gene, which is doing what? Literally combining or collaborating or bringing into a fold a group of genes together within the people. Now remember I told you that us as people, we're made of cells, and cells are made of what? Genes. Now, and what is a gene? Gene is an energy. It is an atom, and an atom is energy, which also is bringing about the spirit. So you have to understand what an actual atom is, and what a gene is. So now, Going into the next word is cellular. Now cellular, like your cell phone, remember I told you that the iPhone or the cell phone wasn't just called cell phone because it sounded good. So now cellular, we all know that the iPhone wasn't called an iPhone just for nothing. I've explained it in my video why it's called a cell phone and why it's called an iPhone X and so on and so forth. That X gene is that iPhone X, which is also the Planet X or the Planet 9 or the 9 gene. It is literally the rebirth of you. That is what they're talking about. They're not talking about nothing else. They are literally and simply talking about your molecular growth, your growth in molecular buildup. You're literally transcending as a butterfly would from a caterpillar into a butterfly. That is what is occurring with you within your cells and within your bodies. For example, we will go later into, briefly, into the loud booms at night, and these loud booms are all over your Bible. These loud booms are literally the waking up of those ancient cells that you have within you that have been dormant within you and your parents and your grandparents and so on and so forth. All of our ancestors have had this genetic thing within us that has been dormant, and it is waking them up. It is going boom, 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 and it is waking them up. So your nucleus is literally dissolving, which is where I explained the chromosphere around your nucleus is literally depleting, which will allow the breath of life, the breath that the Father or the Source gave you, to be who you're supposed to be in this time. And you are a God. You have to understand that. You are a God. The body is the temple of God. And you are not the body. You are literally the spirit. And the spirit is a part of God. So that makes you a part of God, which means you are God. God is not minuscule or anything of God is God. Now remember, God, like I explained, is just a word that us as humans could put into a box. We could only characterize it but so much. Now, mobile, cellular, mobile. So we already know what cellular is. Your body is made up of is a cellular. It's literally made of a molecular cellular construct. And when it's mobile, it literally means the cells that move within your body. So they're literally collaborating the cells within your body that move around, that literally inform and give off and bring in information. This is what your cells do throughout your body faster than the speed of light. Just like thought does. And then you have the slow ones that literally move at a slower rate within your body. But they're all transferring energy, and energy is information, and energy is power, and energy is truth. Now, going into communications, it's literally explaining how your cellular cells within your body literally are being created and transferring from one point to the next information. So remember, I just told you that cells are information. So, and it's energy, and energy is data, and data is information. So this is how your brain is telling, this is how your heart is telling your brain faster than the speed of light to tell your finger to curve, to point. All within nanoseconds, probably even smaller than that if there is anything smaller than that. Now, understanding that that's what that means, you now understand how the cellular mobile communication system that they are building, that they're calling 5G, actually works. Now, good. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to look at some of the actual meanings and breakdowns of what this actually means. If you look at what it says here, it literally says the 5G performance targets high data rate. Remember I told you faster than the speed of light literally is the thought process of you bringing forth into existence these things. So what it does is that it reduces it in latency, meaning it reduces it in time. Remember, DNA is time and time is DNA. I know I haven't spoken much on that, but I definitely will be bringing that up and explaining how time is energy and how energy is time and how time is money and money is DNA. Everything is DNA. Even right now, you have been paying with your time, with your lifespan. So now, looking at what this is all explaining to you, you guys can basically read it on your own, but you can basically see everything I've said in the past videos is being written right there, literally explaining how they're going to use this against you. So now we're going to stop there, and I'm going to show you these slides real quick, and we're going to go over these slides. I'm going to try to go through this a little fast. Radio. What I'm trying to show you guys is what radiation actually is, just so you guys know. When they are talking radiation, they are not talking about nothing outside you. They're talking about what's inside you. When they're talking about the negative component, which is called uranium, they're talking about what's inside you. They're talking about those things inside you. When they're talking about XM or dark matter, they're talking about what's inside you. You have to understand they're talking about your molecular buildup and creation within your body. Not all of you, some of you out there have this. Some of you out there are more special than what you are being led to believe. Now, the first word is radio, the transmission and reception of electromagnetic waves of radio frequency, especially those carrying sound messages. Now, we all know that everything is a frequency. And what is a frequency? Frequency is a bandwidth of sound. Now, understanding that everything is a bandwidth of sound, let's see what a radio is. An apparatus for receiving radio programs. From the word radio, you actually get radia. So radia or radia is the shortest form for radius. Radius. So an apparatus capable of both receiving and transmitting radio messages between individuals, ships, planes, people, etc., 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 is what it should have said. A broadcasting station or channel. So you are a walking, talking frequency that literally works on 442, 443 megahertz. Now, understanding that, combining form of radio is denoting radio waves or broadcasting, so receiving or giving. Physics, connected with rays, radiation, or radioactivity. Remember I told you that the sun's rays, which is John, or ion, or on, or Thor, the one who comes before Christ, is literally the messages of God in the light's rays. This is why his hair, it says that his hair is literally like camel's hair. And it's literally a raiment of light. So now, that is radiogenic. Now, remember what the word genic means. Gen literally means gene. So radiogenic is literally talking about how your cells or your genes receive and give off information and receive information. Anatomy, belonging to the radius in conjunction with some other part, meaning how this information comes from one place and gets to another, and so on and so forth. Amine, any group of organic compounds of nitrogen that may be considered ammonia derivatives in which one or more hydrogen atoms have been replaced by one or more hydrocarbon radicals. So it is literally, as I said, the nucleus finally dropping off and that which was inside of it literally becoming the outside of it. So right now we all know that the real you is the one inside of this body, and you're trapped in it, and you're about to be released to be the outside. Now another group of it, any of amine or amine, any of a group of organic compounds that may be considered derivatives of ammonia. Now the reason why this is important and the reason why I'm showing you about ammonia is because they have something in the news called ketamine, which is used as a date rape drug and they're announcing it on national media right now. But what it is a message that they're giving amongst each other about you, about what's happening with you, and how to stop you, in which one or more hydrogen atoms have been replaced by a hydrocarbon radical in aniline, C6H, that's basically those compounds. For example, one hydrogen atom has been replaced by a phenyl group, which is those same compounds. Amines are produced by the decay of organic matter. So remember I told you that your skin is now dying and what is inside is now becoming the outside. So what was within is now being without. So as above, so below, so it shall be as in earth as it is in heaven. So that is what is going on. So now another amine or ammonia variant is amino as final element of a compound word like dramamine. Ammonia, a colorless alkaline gas that is lighter than air and has a strongly pungent odor. It is used as a fertilizer and refrigerant in medicines and in making dyes, textiles, plastics, and explosives. Chemical formula NH3. Now remember I explained to you guys that literally the weather, when the reason they're making it cold is because it keeps you from keeping your mind on the true things of what's going on, which makes your kinetic energy warm up. It makes your body warm up and do what it's supposed to do. But by them making it cold, it literally makes you think of cold, and it literally keeps the metals from collaborating and becoming one. Remember I showed you how two metals, when they meet each other in your body or in space, they literally connect, they attract each other and connect and create. It's literally having an alkaline body when literally the metals within your body literally collaborate, attract one another, creating another form of information, another form of energy. And you are energy. That's what you are. You are literally energy. Your spirit is energy. So when they show you a picture of a sprite, that is basically what you are. And if you look at what a sprite is, it looks like an atom. And what is an atom? Energy. So understanding that, and understanding that some of these components and chemical compounds are what made the hydrogen bomb, which is all BS. It's literally all, I'm not saying they don't do that. Of course they do that because they're happening in your body. Your body's exploding every single day. What I mean is some of the things that they've told us in the past is not real. A lot of it, well, we all know that now. But anyway, going into the next part of it, word origin and history for ammonia. 1799, modern Latin, coined 1782 by Swedish chemist Turbo Bergman, whatever that means, and who lived from this time to whatever time, for gas obtained from sal. Now sal is salt in Spanish, always remember that. Ammonia, salt deposits containing ammonium chloride found near Temple of Jupiter Ammon. What is Ammon? The top of your skull. The top of your skull. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is your liver. This is why they're called deities. The Roman Catholic Church, or the Vatican, created these deities, which are literally, like I explained in the Pantheon video, organs within your body. And these are the things that have taken over your body, which is why you feel pain, you think you die, you get sick, so on and so forth. So they feed those organs by giving you these chemical compounds of negative foods, artificial foods, which is negative information. So these things, instead of the higher you get in the information, these things get the information and take control. So now, from Egyptian god Amun. Now Amun, we all know, is when we say Amen, which literally means Amun, meaning you, your higher mental, your Amen, your mind. Your mind is where you are at. That is who you truly are. You are the mind. You are the consciousness. Now, in Libya, from Greek, ammoniakos. Now, that's basically how to say it in that language. Belonging to Ammon. The shrine was ancient already in Augustus' day, and the salts were prepared from the sands where the camels waited while their masters prayed for good omens. There also was a gum form of sal ammoniac from a wild plant that grew near the shrine and across North Africa and Asia. A less likely theory traces the name to Greek Armeniacon, Armenian, because the substance also was found in Armenia, also known as spirit of hartshorn and volatile or animal alkali. Now, when you guys look at iodized salt, which is basically the salt we use at home for cooking, this is iodized. Now, let me explain something about iodine. Iodine is very good, especially right now if you're trying to get these viruses and parasites out your body, and you're cutting down on meat, or you have already cut down on meat and you're only eating fish, or you've just cut it all out completely. Take 2-3 drops a day of iodine for about a week, and then lower that after that 1 week down to about, I would say, maybe a drop a day or 2 drops a day, and then after that second week of just two drops a day, go into 1. Now, you do not have to swallow it, although you can. Just a drop though, not no gushing cups of it or nothing like that. Or you can literally just use it topically. Iodine is literally absorbed through the skin. Remember, your skin is literally the sponge in which your body receives this information. So this is how the sun is literally being used by the source or by the father or the mother, whatever, however you call it, to literally give you the information you need to be your higher self. And that is what's happening right now. So by doing that, you literally, you already know it's antiseptic. Iodine is very, very good. It's actually called the juice of the gods, and many other names in different centuries and people with people and everything else. But you guys should definitely try it. You know, it'll definitely help you, especially if you have thyroid issues. If you have a low thyroid issue where you are gaining weight, it'll help you lose weight organically, literally without having to do anything else. Just literally those drops. Don't combine anything with it. Also, if you look at what it is that you take for thyroid medicine, you'll see it is iodine. Also, now going into, if you have a fast rate, then you need less of it. You need less of it, but more organic of it. So meaning, literally use like 1 drop of real iodine, and that's it. And enjoy your weekend. Peace and blessings.